All right.
Welcome.
I believe welcome. Let's get Andrew Teff's or Doug's.
Decks correctly. All right, Doug's actually probably pseudo correct. So we have a special treat
There
for
we
you to
go.
lead off Modern Madness tonight here at Tuesday at GameSwap.
Yeah, we've got a couple players tonight running the Highlander challenge. Completely singleton. Modern decks.
And Doug's one of them. Now, Doug Linn, God bless his heart, will just take any brewing challenge you put together for him.
That is a true statement.
Andrew Tefft might actually be accurate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on Grixis Delver.
All right, Blood Moon from Doug. I'm sorry, Blood Crypt.
Turn 1 Blood Moon. The power of Highlander.
All right, here's this
Stomping Ground to follow it
Stamping
up.
Ground.
Interesting that he didn't have any of the fetches to get started here.
Oh boy.
I mean, right off the bat, Andrew's got to put him on Jund, but this is a very strange Jund opening.
You're a strange Jund opening.
That's fair. That's a fair statement. So here's a Thought Scour.
Yep.
Goodbye, Delver.
It's a pretty good Thought Scour.
Yeah.
I feel like drawing Delver after turn, 1 is pretty poor.
Pretty poor.
And he's just passing. This isn't where Grixis Delver wants to be. I feel like it's a deck you want to...
Not where Doug Linn wants to be either.
Just
Passing
the
on
two
2
lands.
land. Especially if he's playing 5 color. That's pretty brutal.
But Grixis Delver is a deck that wants to apply some pressure.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not an aggro deck per se, but it definitely has cards in it that are you answer them or you lose.
Absolutely. Not having a Delver or like a Pyromancer is pretty rough.
I could even see a Tasker would have been excellent last turn.
Oh, sure.
Alright, so we got a Terminate. Looks like...
Maybe he's playing around to Terminate from Doug. Maybe he only has the one creature. I can't really tell what's in his hand, though. He might not have any creatures.
I see a Mana Leak.
Yeah, I see a Mana Leak and a Spell Snare.
Let's see what comes with this third fetch land for him.
Imagine we're getting a basic here. And he does get a basic mountain. What's the turn 3 play for Andrew? I didn't see like a Blood Moon in his hand, although that would be completely devastating for Doug.
Yeah, Blood Moon would be... I mean, both of the lands are mountains already.
Sure.
So maybe he's got some red spells that are castable?
Oh, we got a big old
Gurmag
fishy.
Angler. And I know he's got a Mana Leak backup, so I guess this is the play. Doug with no Terminate end of turn.
Discards a Fulminator Mage. Clearly not doing a whole lot here.
Man, Fulminator Mage would have been a big game.
It would have been pretty good.
Alright, so 15 all here. Andrew's going to Serum Visions.
Yeah, with the Snapcaster in hand and then the Snapcaster staying on top of the library, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is just
This game is pretty much wrapped up.
Right.
Still no play from Doug.
Yeah, it looks like Doug discarded the only card. I would have kept it. I would have found something else to discard.
Sure.
See,
I can't
'cause-
see anything else in Doug's hand, so.
Well, Fulminator Mage is totally castable on any land he drew.
Oh, yeah. He might have just discarded it because it didn't seem like a very good card in this matchup.
Right. There's some questioning going on from the gallery. Nobody gets it. All right, another land.
I think I saw land.
Scoop him up.
It's likely that he's losing regardless of whether this is a land or not.
I would concur. Um,
So even if he has the answer for the angler, and for some reason it can't be man leaked, Andrew has the bolt snap bolt.
okay, here we go. Pulse Marasa, this is going to gain Doug 6 life. Catches a mana leak with that one.
All right. So Doug's at 2, but has a window here.
A window with no mana leaks. This is an altered ego.
So we have an alter ego copying Gurmag Angler. I believe Andrew has the Terminate for it.
Sure.
He's got the Snapcaster for the bolt in hand, or he's just gonna roll another one out. Okay, I guess we'll go to the board.
Altered Ego is a
Is a
pretty
nice
sick one. I like that. I can respect an Altered Ego.
It's interesting because Grixis Delver is a deck that that specifically is designed for a metagame.
Right?
And Doug's deck is just not in any metagame.
It's not.
I don't
well,
think,
I mean, it's
I don't think the Highlander modern metagame has been well established or explored.
no. I think by default, going into like a Highlander deck, you're going to have to be a mid-range deck. So you're going to have to play like a Jund-esque game where you're relying on the quality of your cards
Uh-huh.
because the synergy's not really going to be there.
Okay.
So if I'm Andrew, I'm sideboarding like I would sideboard against Jund.
Okay. Sure. And Doug, I mean, this is a known quantity, especially in the GameSwap Mason metagame.
Right.
So he can go right in, knows exactly what's going on. Hopefully he has a sideboarding plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to develop a sideboarding plan that's very specific when you're playing Highlander, but it's very easy to make some tweaks here and there and just like,
Right.
oh, these cards look better than these cards. Like, you're never at a loss for what you want to take out.
There you go. So Modern is a format that's known for playing, like, you play the best version of a card. You're not going to play Shock because you can play Lightning Bolt.
Right.
And but you do have redundancy. You know what I mean? If you're out of Lightning Bolts, you can play Lava Spike, and then when you run out of Lava Spikes, you can go as deep as Bump in the Night.
You can go as deep as Bump in the Night.
And so I imagine Doug's deck he's got the second best version of a lot of cards in his sideboard.
You might have like the fourth best version of a lot of cards in the sideboard.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is that, like, maybe he's got Nature's Claim and the new one, what's it called? Natural State and Naturalize. So,
I don't think he wants any of those, though.
no, I'm just saying. I was using the Disenchant effect as an example.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think that he's going to be streamlining a little bit of removal here. The interesting thing here is that because he has access to all 5 colors, he could just have his sideboard full of like silver bullets. Like he could be bringing in Rest in Peace or something here.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew pew. Is that the sound that silver makes when it's shot from a revolver?
Yep.
Interesting.
No, that's not. That's
It's not.
It's a totally different sound.
What's it sound like?
Bang!
Okay. I imagine that's closer.
I don't think I'm sure you could do a audiological study on it,
Yeah.
but I don't imagine silver makes a unique noise when shot from a gun
Really?
versus steel or lead or copper.
I mean, I'm sure
Brass.
the hardness of the metal
Changes
matters a
the-
lot.
In the sound quality?
Yeah.
So, I'd admit, okay, so the sound originates from the gunpowder exploding,
That sound does.
and then comes from both, I guess it comes from, like, the chamber
Yeah, the friction between the bullet and the chamber.
You think that the friction between the bullet and the chamber makes the bang noise?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that like I don't think I think the friction between the bullet and the chamber is that noise is so negligible that you.
Yeah,
You
but that's
can't
the
tell the
noise I wanted
difference.
to know.
Oh, well, I have no idea. I think
Well,
I
you
don't
need
think
to
any. I don't think
get with
anybody.
it.
I don't think anybody's heard that noise.
I'm sure you could isolate it with modern technology.
I'm. Really? You think?
Yeah, 100%.
Huh.
100%. It's all on CSI. All right, on to game 2.
On to game 2. Doug's gonna start us off here.
Hopefully he's got I want to say a better hand, but just like a functional hand
Here's
would
an
do.
Arid Mesa. Island leading to Delver's Secrets.
Turn 1 Delver. Oh, we're going to have like
Oh,
a turn
man.
1 Bolt or Shock.
Or Path.
I'm not crazy about Path here, but Bolt, Shock are
Listen,
good.
I think when you're playing Highlander, you take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get like a Path here, then that's fine. But you only got one.
This might be my
I'd
my
probably hold it.
personal like weirdness, but I always feel cheated when a fetch land gets the shock land that its colors are associated with.
Yeah, that's definitely personal weirdness. You're just personally weird.
Oh, you don't have to sell me on that one. I got it. There's a breeding pool, so we got 4 colors online.
Roasted.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was so much damage on that Delver of Secrets. It did not stand a chance. I wish Andrew would have just showed us the top card just to see. It probably was at Ancestral Visions. If you had a Delver and an Ancestral Visions in your hand, which would you play first?
Depends on the matchup. Here, I would probably play the Ancestral Visions.
King Curse.
No, I'm sorry. I would probably play the Delver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think you can cut off a lot of Doug's deck if you can cut the game short.
Okay.
Whereas if you're going long, the Ancestral Visions helps you win the long game, but the cards that you gain are almost canceled out by the cards that Doug can play because his mana starts to work in the late game.
All right.
Whew.
Wow, this is a strong one. So I like this play quite a bit. Doug casts a Painful Truths, which
He's out.
cares about the different colors of mana you have.
Yeah.
And in a Highlander deck, man, you're gonna have all the different colors.
You definitely could.
Lots of different colors. I like Andrew's choice of mountains here. Island, not so much. And here's a polluted delta. Leisurely passes it back to Doug, who's going to show us another fetch land.
So we've got a Misty. Let's see if we've got a turn 4 play. I can't imagine we don't after all the cards he's drawn.
Right.
So now, with Andrew representing any number of counter spells,
Uh-huh.
some people might be tempted to like sandbag a drop here until they can get Andrew to commit to something on his turn and then untap.
All right.
But with this Ancestral Visions coming off in 3 turns, I want to fire off as many spells before the thing resolves as possible.
Okay. The other thing is that it's important to remember Andrew doesn't have that many hard counter spells. You know what I mean? He's got Remand. Here's a negate or a
Remand on the Tasker is pretty rough.
Remand on the Tasker is pretty rough.
I'm at 10 and he's at 18.
Oh, that's a Watery Grave. I'm sorry. I think I misspoke and called that a polluted delta.
Oh.
But like Mana Leak is a totally different ball game.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think Doug will create a situation where he can cast that Tasker again.
Eventually, but it definitely buys Andrew some time.
Now here is what I'm 100% sure is a polluted delta.
That is 100% polluted delta.
I can tell it's got the foily stamp on it.
It does have
The rare little indicator that it's a rare card.
It does have an indicator.
There's another basic land.
I like it.
Thragtusk.
Thragtusk has been announced.
Nope.
How about a
Chronos?
Keranis?
This is a strong card.
So I didn't play during the set that he was out, but I have enjoyed
Good.
playing him in like
Good job.
right.
You picked the best time to go hibernate. What were you doing? Were you just playing Final Fantasy 11
14.
at that time? 14 was
Yeah, I was
the-
playing some Final Fantasy 14, and
Yeah, just ignoring Magic entirely, I hope.
yeah, it was not. So I would watch I would tune into like SCG streams and things like that. Usually just in the background, and usually just to lament like terrible Magic being played. At one point, I remember I was thinking about going up here and drafting, and maybe like trying to get into Standard a little bit, and then I tuned into an SCG stream and saw a green-white Devotion versus green-white Devotion mirror match in like the finals that went on for 3 hours. I'm like, nope, gonna save myself some time this Friday.
Those. Oh man, it was a rough time to be. I missed you.
Yeah,
However,
Spreading Seas is pretty good here.
so what it does, it takes Doug off of red.
He does have white still, but no red could be rough.
Well,
We don't know.
He can't recast his Keranos now.
Oh sure.
That got remanded. Keranos is a game ender, man. Not ender's game, a game ender. And resolving that would have been a huge one there. He's either going to get there via incremental damage 3 at a time, or
This Tasker's gonna get path.
he's just going to get to draw
Yeah.
a gajillion cards.
He needs another land if he wants to recast it for sure. He also needs another red land. Any fetch would be great, I'm sure.
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 It'd be fine.
Wonderful, even.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so we know he's got a Keranos in hand. We know he's got a Tassiger in hand. Holy smokes, that's a resto.
Man, my Thragtusk last turn would have been the bee's knees.
Sure.
Speaking of standard formats that I that I miss,
That was a good one.
that was a gem. Restoing your Thragtusk was completely unfair.
It was not fair.
Like blocking and then resto my Thragtusk is just
There was a lot of fun decks in that format.
yeah, there was.
I think Thragtusk was a little too pushed. But
I would have loved it at a 4-2. Well, I guess Lightning Bolt was legal
yeah, I would have loved it at a 3-3.
for 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Still gains you 5. Click you. Okay, now we get to
Here's the-
see.
Oh man, now
All
we
of
get to
Doug's
see
goodies.
what Doug's working with. Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about if I have any responses. And I don't.
All right.
Oh man,
Explosives, sort of. Fire and Ice, Tasker, Keranos,
an actual lightning angel.
Crackling Doom.
We need red for everything in this hand except for the last 3. You can keep it. Has been announced.
Oh, man.
All right. Doesn't care about any of those. Explosives for 2.
Oh man, I think you tapped wrong there.
Why do you think he tapped wrong?
So if you explosives blow it, I guess it still doesn't get you all the way there to make Tasker.
You just lightning bolt me, so help me God. And engineered explosives for 2. Of course you have the bolt because you're playing a real deck.
Has the bolt. Probably playing multiple copies in the deck.
Next 2 cards. Could you have at least let me live a little bit longer?
Man, so
That's some fun.
big ups to Doug for showing up with this kind of deck.
Yeah, with the Highlander deck. We might have another Highlander player on camera next round. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, we'll see if he pulls out a win.
Yeah, we'll see if somebody pulls out a win. I don't think he will. I looked at the matchup beforehand, and I don't think
Or
that's happening. But
if they get paired against each other,
holy smokes, that would be nice.
I think we just have to. at
Yeah,
that
I
point.
mean, if they get paired against each other in round 2, it's definitely going up. But anyway,